can't believe I found them. Welcome to Tulum. I have made it to Tulum, and I haven't been here in 3 years. In 3 years, there's so much that has changed, some for the great and some not so much. You'll be the judge of that at the end of this video. A fairly new road called Avenida Cuculcán, which connects Tulum Pueblo to the hotel zone, has made a huge difference, improving the so chaotic traffic that Tulum has been known for and drastically cutting down the time it takes you from the Pueblo to the beach zone and vice versa. And just like that, in roughly 7 minutes, we made it to Tulum Pueblo. The drive that could have taken you 45 minutes, even more in high season, has now been reduced to only 7 minutes. This is probably one of the best things that has happened to Tulum in years for visitors and also for workers going to the hotel zone from the suburbs. I'm gonna show you what my room looks like. Welcome to the place where cats roam free in your room. Where you stay can make or break your Tulum experience. Literally, staying at the beach is something that I wouldn't change. From experience, when you stay at hotels like this, you simply get the best of Tulum. You're just a few steps from the ocean, their beach amenities, art, restaurants, and the main places to see. From an aesthetic point of view, a lot of these hotels are incredibly designed, creating a concept that you wouldn't get anywhere else. Many of them are eco-hotels, working in harmony with the environment, making it a place of retreat, connection, and outstanding service. Waking up and seeing a beautiful sunrise from your bed or sleeping listening to the ocean can make these boutique hotels a dreamy vacation and personally one of the highlights of coming here. My advice will be to reserve directly at the hotel's website, where they might be running a promotion for booking with them, and trust me, it can save you a lot. If you don't see a promotion, simply email the hotel and ask. You might be surprised. Safety has been an increasing concern here in Tulum, and here's what I gather from the local community. So there's currently a battle between two cartels, one that has been established here in the area and one that wants to take over the area. And then there's a battle between the cartels and the police. So if you're here and you're in your hotel and you're not going to sketchy places, then you should be absolutely okay. And if you want to be extra sure about the places that you want to go here in Tulum, just make sure you ask the people working at your hotel. They will be happy to give you recommendations and make sure you're safe. The food scene in Tulum has changed drastically, but what hasn't changed is this amazing place. Salud. Tourism has transformed Tulum's culinary arena and has opened the door to different cuisines of the world. Here you can find casual spots to party restaurants and then what I call jungle high-end kitchens that will make your palate have quite the dance in a good way. They cook in the middle of the jungle with no refrigeration and the food is to die for. If your budget allows, I highly encourage you to try one of these places. Look at this tiny cocktail. So they have a concept where they sell half of a cocktail so you can do a little tasting yourself. While it is disappointing to see some of the local favorites closed, on the bright side, it is places like these delivering a modern version of Mexican and Mayan cuisine, showcasing a deep respect for local ingredients, seasonality, and ancient techniques, putting Tulum's gastronomy on the world map. Their passion can be seen on every dish they put out, and watching them cook is really a treat on its own. In 2020, the pandemic hit, and it seems like everybody discovered Tulum at the same time. Then people came here paying top dollars, and hotels realized that very quickly. But that had long-term consequences because the same tourists that were coming here in 2020 and 2021 are now able to go everywhere else in the world where it's cheaper, while here in Tulum, the prices were capped high. Once upon a time, not too long ago, coming to Mexico meant getting a good value for your dollar. But as the peso has gained value and as the prices here in Tulum have increased drastically, now that's no longer the case, which means you'll be paying similar prices that you see in the US and even Europe while paying in Mexican pesos.
What?
Just give that a thought. But there are some ways to turn this around, from staying at Pueblo where accommodations are more price conscious, avoiding taxes at all costs, more on that in a minute, and dining out at Pueblo where you can find more economical options to delight every palate. If you're willing to explore out of your food comfort zone, go to a fonda for a super authentic and delicious meal for a fraction of the cost. You can also dive into the culture of local taquerias where you'll find incredible tacos and you'll know more about the culture itself. Have some tacos al pastor from a trompo and you will change what you thought of a taco. Believe me, you won't regret it. How you choose to get to Tulum and getting around town can make a huge difference on your budget. Because here in Tulum, there is no Uber and taxi fares are insanely crazy priced. I'll go straight to the point here. Do not ride taxis. There are no price regulations enforced, and therefore taxi drivers have created their sort of mafia, charging tourists exorbitant prices. A 1 mile ride, which is about 6 minutes here in the hotel zone, can cost you 500 to 600 pesos. If you want to take that further to the Pueblo or Tulum's Pueblo, it can cost you up to 1,000 pesos. From experience, the best option for me has been renting out a car out of the airport and then just getting wherever I go as I please. In low season, parking is super easy, but if you're traveling during high season, just make sure your hotel offers parking, or just go early to Pueblo when it's easier to find free street parking or parking garages, which, by the way, are price negotiable. Just make sure you have cash. Other means of transportation that might be easier in the parking department are scooters and four-wheelers, which are also recommendable. Sargassum is not new, but it's definitely changing the way tourism is being done in Tulum. The arrival of Sargassum is inevitable, but in the last few years, it has become more unpredictable to determine how long Sargassum season will last. Typically, the season begins from late spring to October, and its presence, along with other factors, has driven tourism away from Tulum and in general from the Riviera Maya. So here's my note on Sargassum. Don't let it deter you from coming to Tulum, because one day the beach might be full of it, and then the next day, look at this. Isn't this paradise? The good news is that a lot of hotels are making huge efforts to maintain the beaches clean, which means that you could enjoy a clean, beautiful beach without any crowds. People cleaning the beaches in the morning. And if you're worried about Sargassum, just know that a lot of hotels have this amazing working people cleaning the beaches so we can all have a better experience. Besides, there are so many other attractions in Tulum that Sargassum may not even be a problem. The increasing opening of beach clubs is definitely having an impact in Tulum's culture, a culture that once attracted people for its chill vibe and relaxation. The question is it becoming the second Cancun, or is it already? The once quiet beach destination, largely unknown to the world and perfect for a retreat, adventure, and authenticity, has now gained a worldwide reputation as a party scene hub, wreaking havoc with noise pollution that affects hotels, wildlife conservation, and has now contributed to the rise of crime fueled by a desire for drugs, unwelcome by many seeking a bit of Mexican paradise. Accelerated in 2020 when people flocked to Tulum wanting to escape lockdowns, the party scene took new levels at the point that now there's a party zone that you can even find on popular search engines when looking for accommodations. In 2022, noise control laws were implemented. However, hush payments between beach club owners and the government leave many hotels without viable solutions for guests disturbed by the noise. How does this affect you? Well, If your main purpose of coming to Tulum is to relax or find adventure, do a bit of research and make sure your hotel is away from the party zone. Look at the reviews and even contact the hotel itself. If you already booked your hotel and you just discover it's at the party zone, ask the hotel for a room away from the noise, as music levels can really be heard from afar. It's best to be prepared and take some earplugs. This far in the video, I thank you and invite you to hit the like and subscribe button so I can bring even better travel content for you. This video is not intended to criticize and even less deter you from coming to Tulum, but rather to shed light on current issues and questions from newgoers that can be worked around with a bit of planning. Tulum is a unique destination that will fulfill your wanderlust. It's a place where you can find breathtaking scenery, mysticism, intriguing history, incomparable gastronomy, laughter from conversations with a total stranger, and moments that will make you go back again and again if you open up yourself into the essence of Tulum that has enamored many.